Broken Circle Breakdown, which is Belgium's official submission for the 2014 film Not in the English Language Oscar. And this is based on a play, which was a sort of performance play, which was music and narrative, which was around just a couple of years ago. So the story is basically, it's a love story between two characters. One of them is a sort of beardy bluegrass musician. The other is a tattooist covered in tattoos who also wears a cross. And we see their relationship, the past, the present, intertwining. So there is a comparison to some extent with the Blue Valentine. But what we get is this intercutting between the birth of their relationship and then later on their struggle against this illness which is threatening to rob them of the most precious thing in their life. Their child is endangered. And it cuts back and forward between past and present. And at the centre of it all is this strange harmony between their two voices, because they end up playing together in this bluegrass band. And the songs themselves form essentially the backbone of the narrative. This obviously comes to some extent from the stage play. And of course, the significant thing is that these songs, the songs that they're singing, the folk songs and spirituals, are very much about, on the one hand, physical hardship, but on the other hand, this world and the next. And the spiritual dimension that the film has comes out of the songs. Here's just a clip of the music.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, or by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, or in the sky. I told thee, Undertaker, Undertaker, please drive slow, for this body you're holding, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by?
So on the one hand, you have that. And I mean, I love that music anyway. But what makes the film? I mean, I was really impressed by it. It's very moving. Is that essentially what an awful lot of those songs are about? Is, the next life is about transcendence. And actually, what happens during the course of the film is that it becomes this sort of battle between, he is this arch rationalist who absolutely doesn't have any sort of truck with religion. She, on the other hand, needs to believe in things, wants to believe in things. As she says herself, if I want to believe in this, what does it bother you? And it strings a quite complex sort of metaphysical discussion between these two characters, and does it in a way that comes completely naturally out of the music. And when I'd heard about the film in advance, and somebody said, it's like Blue Valentine but with bluegrass, you thought, okay, fine. I mean, as I said, I have a fondness for that music anyway. But I thought it was something that used those songs in a way that was really quite profound. It's very committed, very strong performances, unobtrusively directed in a way which seems very, very intimate, painful and moving and oddly profound. And the very interesting thing about it is that out of this, of them playing these songs together, and she said, well, what is it that you love about Americana? And he starts talking about the Appalachians, and he starts talking about where these songs came from and what they meant to all these different things, saying this is where the double bass came from, and this is where the fiddle came from, and this is where the banjo came from. And I'm interested in the banjo because it's like a punk instrument, because it's got that kind of growling sound. So it's a narrative that comes completely naturally out of the music, as opposed to a narrative that is just interspersed with bluegrass songs. And it deals on a very accessible level with life and death and, physics and metaphysics, and does it all with the sound of a banjo and close harmonies that will break your heart. And I thought it was really quite moving.